Hey, what's up guys, TheJordude here, back again with another Shadowverse deck and gameplay video. This is of course, the second day now for the mini expansion of World Uprooted. So a lot of new decks that we're testing out. And a deck that I've came across on ladder and been playing quite a bit myself last night is this kind of mid-range shadow deck that is actually really strong, especially with the recent buffs that came to the class. I'm calling it Big Shadow because there's a similar deck in Hearthstone back in the day. We used to call it Big Priest, and it played a pretty similar play style, I think. So, yeah, I call it this Big Shadow, but really it's like mid-range Shadow. It could also be like Machina Shadow. And there's actually two versions of this deck that you might see on ladder. There's one that's more Natura focused actually, but it has like a similar Machina package. And then there's just like a more mid-rangey Machina package, similar to kind of like Ginsetsu Shadow or mid-range Shadow that we used to see back in the day. As you can see, we got the Ginsetsu, the Shutendoji. So basically what this deck does is like your mid game is Anya, and Anya at 4 cost is actually broken. Like, she's actually kind of toxic, to be honest. Like, you play her on curve and you get a roly-poly, right? And the roly-poly, it's just so hard for your opponent to deal with. Like, if you're kind of just trading boards mid-game and you drop a roly-poly, normally what your opponent does is like they evolve, right? But if they evolve to attack into the roly-poly, it's only doing 1 damage unless it's got Bane or unless they have some other pings. And if they can't get through the roly-poly, or to take the whole turn dealing with the roly-poly, your Anya sticks, and then she just summons another one your next turn. So I've had Anya on my board for like more than 3 turns before, and I just kept summoning roly-polies. It's just kind of insane. You're also getting Fleeting Joys. Fleeting Joys is just such a powerful card. First of all, your Leer can't take more than 5 damage at a time, so it's really good against certain matchups like OTK Roach or Natura Dragon. But the main thing is your Enhanced 9. Enhanced 9 reads randomly put 4 different Machina followers from your deck into play, excluding Anya. And excluding Anya, you actually only have 4 other Machina cards, which is Jack Shovel Gravedigger. And this gains XX plus Rush. She usually becomes, I think, like a 4/5. And so you have a 4/5 Rush Bane. You get a 6/6 Ward. Colossal Skull Lord, which is buffed, so now it's 4 damage to your opponent's enemy followers, which is kind of broken. And you get He Who Once Rocked, which is a 5/5 Storm plus Ward. So when he dies, and he also has the last words Reanimate 8, so you get back your Mecha Wing Angel, which is again a ward with 6/6. So your Fleeting Joy is such a powerful card. It's guaranteed to pull out those 4 Machinas if they're still in your deck. So that's just a really powerful, that's pretty much your win condition with this deck. It's just kind of overwhelming your opponent on board. If you ever fall behind on board, or you need just kind of overtake the board, you have Nightmare Devourer. I kind of underrated this card when I first looked at it. It's actually really OP because you Necromancy 4, you actually build up quite a bit of Necromancy with this deck. So oftentimes you're going to be getting 3 copies of it out. You could get more potentially, and this could give you heal, it cleans the board, it gives you extra shadows back. Friends Forever, it's actually, it's alright. The way you built this deck is built is that your only 2-drop that you can reanimate is Jack Shovel Gravedigger, unless you use the Sarcophagus race with the Profane Resurrection, which will give you a zombie potentially. So that's the only downside. In terms of 4s, you have a couple 4s that it might pull out, so it's a little inconsistent. 1s, you have Miyako, but then you might get Assembly Droid. Doesn't really matter too much though about the 1s. But Friends Forever is just a solid card. It also gives you a Fleeting Joy as well. I used to have this deck used to have 3 copies of Ceres, but I was finding this card to be super clunky. It does kind of work well with Shutendoji. It gives you heal. It could be annoying for your opponent to deal with, but a lot of times I found it's really clunky. The Counter Vow, you can't really play on turn 6 because, as you could tell from this deck, right, we cut a lot of 2-drops because we wanted to make Friends Forever more consistent. And so Eternal Vow on 6 doesn't really work out because you can't play cards on the turn you vow, so it's not really worth it. But like, if you play it later, you could use like Ginsetsu earlier and stuff like that. So I still have 1 copy of Ceres in my deck, but instead I added 2 more copies of Shinobu, because actually when you evolve her, you get the Skullfather, right? And the Skullfather, you could get off Friends Forever. It kind of messes up with your res pool, but Skullfather is a decent card to res anyways, so I think it's fine. And also you could pull back Shinobu from Friends Forever, which is fine. I mean, your 4 is already kind of cluttered. But she has the extra bonus effect from her Union Burst, where you could do board AoE, which I think is just additionally nice to have. And you get Union Bursts off, like you have Miyako as well. You get your Union Bursts off quite decently, because you also have like free evos from your Shuten Doji, free evos from your Sarcophagus race as well. So your Union Bursts are pretty active. Some common cards that you don't see in this deck, like we don't have Legendary Skeleton Fighter, because of course I don't want to mess with my res pool too much on my 2s. Yeah, so there's not too many 2s in this deck, but you get by. We also have like accelerates, right? So it's still fine. But yeah, this is the deck. I think this deck has a lot of potential. I kind of talked too much about it, but I think this deck has a lot of potential to be a tier 1 deck actually in this meta. The buffs to Anya and Colossus Skullord were actually really big. So, and the addition to Nightmare Devourer was also really good. So yeah, check out the games, and if you enjoy it, give this deck a try. And if you did give this deck a try, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Shadowverse content. Comment down below if you've tried Shadow so far, and if you've tried Shadow, do you prefer like this version, or do you prefer a more natural heavy version with Sauce as your win condition, and Nubel? So yeah, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Portal, like Machina Portal, could be Artifact, but okay. I don't want to keep Sarcophagus on turn 3. I think I would just Kasha might be alright on turn 3. We drew into Anya, which is nice to have on curve. That was alright, but we're going first, so we probably can't play it. Yeah, just a pass turn 2, which feels bad. Kasha here. Yeah, it looks like it is a Machina Portal, which is fine. I mean, we got Fleeting Joy. Fleeting Joy to deal with like Baphomet damage. But yeah, this is the power of on-curve Anya. Like, how does my opponent deal with this? If he just plays one follower here, he can't kill the Anya. If he had a Ramia, he could deal with it. It takes like so much. He has to Ramia, evolve his 1-2, trade. I guess Cherub works as well. Okay, he was able to deal with this. It's still like pretty good for me though, this fleet. I kind of want to get the Shuden Doji active. It actually doesn't matter too much, because actually yeah, the Shuden Doji doesn't really do much in my following turns. But Ceres is good, but it fills up my hand. I think we'll set up the Shuden Doji this turn. I can consider playing the Miyako as well, but I think Miyako is like really helpful in this matchup, so I just want to hold it. I actually could have just played the Fleeting Joy just so I could get some hand space, because next time I might go Sarcophagus. Now I'm kind of forcing myself to go Ceres. Ramia's fine. Yeah, not very good strong turn for him. Yeah, so we could go Sarcophagus this turn. I guess next turn I have Ceres plus Ghastly, which could be better. And just Sarcophagus race this turn. And do I need a trade here? I think I'd rather just go face. I don't think trading really does anything for me. And it would give him like an extra part in his hand. Okay, he's actually pushing damage. We've been friends forever. Kinda sucks. I mean, that turn wasn't that great for him, I guess. Compared to what we're doing. If I drop Colossal Skull-Lord this turn, I don't have a Machina, so it deals damage to everything. I could just trade the zombie into his 1/5 and go face or forward and Colossal to clear, which is okay. We could go Jack Shovel to trade into that, play the Ceres, and then push damage. That might be better. Do I care about the 1/5? It's not really doing anything. Unless he evolves it. I think I just want the free trade there. Miyako is active. Okay. Guess I could kill the 1/5 then. Because Nam was killing my Ceres anyways. The double ward here is annoying. Well, he's actually evolving his tortoise. He evolved the tortoise to trade? That's so weird. Why didn't he just... I guess he wanted more stats on the turtle. Kinda makes sense. It might be a Nightmare Devourer turn here. So we get 3. We fill up this board. I got some Ghastly Assault. So Ghastly Assault... I could actually just kind of set up for lethal. We're actually running out of time too. If I had more time, I would have played the Miyako, but I don't have enough time. Actually, no, I wouldn't have played the Miyako because I can't play the Pudding Time at the same time. So this is fine. I put him at 6 here, and then next turn I have Fleeting Joy. So I can push 5. I'm 1 damage off. But he has to clear this board. I get all my Machinas out. Sometimes you have to keep track of what is left in your deck. Like, we only have 1 Skull-Lord left. So, like, the second Fleeting Joy wouldn't pull out a Skull-Lord, which is unfortunate. But I don't think we're getting 2 Fleeting Joys out this game. This deck, like, you kind of have to push chip damage. Because this deck doesn't have burst. So you're just kind of trying to get ahead on board and then kill them in a fair way. Quote unquote fair way, but these armored tentacles is super annoying though. Yeah, cause this, wow, he got 3 of them. That restores 12. I might just be trying to deck out my opponent then, cause he drew so many cards. Do I want Eternal Vow here? If I Eternal Vow, I'll have 2 play points left. Can't really do anything with it. I could Sarcophagus this turn if I... Yeah. Can't really prevent my opponent from healing up. I mean, this is fine. Don't have... We still have 2 more Miyakos in the deck, so like we have answers to his Baphomets, so I think he's not going to have enough cards to go more Baphomets. He has to be really careful about his fusions, and also like Nam is kind of hard as well. I guess I do have to be careful of this Bearminator stuff. Bearminator's conditions that if you have at least 3, deal 3 damage. Okay. He only goes up to 2, so 2 is, yeah, it's math for him. Shinobu is active. Deal 4 and then deal 2. So actually Shinobu clears this board, which is actually really nice. Shinobu's super clean. Is there anything else that I would prefer doing? Fleeting Joy. Fleeting Joy, not really. He's just going to concede. Okay, I mean, he ran out of resources, honestly, so I think this game was over. I had the full clear here. Craft. Could be Natural Rune. Could be Spell Boost Rune, but I think Natural Rune is just better. This is a curve. We could keep this curve. It's not too impactful, but I think it's fine. If like we wanted to look for ideal cards, I could have full mauled, but I'm just going to play this because I think this is going to do like some decent chip damage to him. And if it's Natural Rune, I need to do the chip damage. Also, if it's Natural Rune, like the Miyako's not doing too much. Okay, yeah, so it is going to be Natural Rune. I think the deck is actually really powerful. It didn't get much support, but in the current meta, I think it's really strong. And we're just going to go face here. Of course, we don't want to kill the Desert Pathfinder because I don't want him to open up Pyromancer on this board. Pyromancer would be a disaster. Apex Elemental here. Okay. Pretty good. Shuden Doji, I don't get the effect of, so I think it's Shinobu. Shinobu also gets out of range out of Pyromancer if I take a trade. So he would have to play the Pyromancer and then evolve to kill the 4-3, which is pretty decent for me. Unfortunately, we're against Natural Rune and they're going second, so they get to have a turn 7 possibly lethal with Carol. No Pyromancer here. We need to get like a Fleeting Joy into our hand. I think we have some time. Like our opponent played 2 trees so far, so yeah, we still have some time. Probably have to set the Shuden Doji. We have Anya now. Anya might be better. Just trade Evolve Roly-Poly. I mean, I could play Anya on turn 7, right? Because 6 is Sarcophagus race. Turn 7 I Anya. And then if he has turn 7 like Riley, and he wants to play Carol. He evolves the Riley, he plays the Carol. I guess the Carol actually kills the Roly-Poly because it could do a bunch of ping damages to it. I'm going to play the Anya here. I'm going to get Shadow Counts up to get for evil for Shuden Doji, and the Shuden Doji's passive effect isn't doing much right now. Yeah, the Roly-Poly doesn't have huge stats, so it could just die to the Carol Union Burst. And the Pyromancer here, so he's gonna have to evolve to trade into this. Oh, he's going to leave it up. Okay. So we played 4 trees so far, so if he plays 3 trees, he could set up Riley. And then I might have to Fleeting Joy. Having to use Fleeting Joy right now is really rough though. We get 2 card draws though, and we're actually pressuring quite a bit of damage. Because if he kills anything, I get the Lich and the Zombie, right? Which is 6 damage. So this is actually a really awkward spot, I think, for Natural Rune. The Pathfinder. Okay, Friends Forever is nice actually, because it's going to give me another Fleeting Joy if I need it. And also, what's my res count? Cool count. I get 1/1. I get Fox, and my 4 is actually kind of diluted. 50/50. I get something that gives me roly poly. Did he play 3 trees this turn? Oh, he only played 1, so he's not getting Rally out next turn, so I could actually just chill. I need to think about in case he might try to board lock me. So if I go Shooting Doji, evolve to Shooting Doji, and go Mecha Wing, I have 1 board slot left. And I put him to 10. I have 3, 5, 7. Yeah, it's okay. So I can still set. He can't just leave everything on my board. So next turn is like probably Friends Forever plus 1 Fleeting Joy. Depends what he does here. But he's probably going to have like the tree set up. He has to clear this, otherwise he's just dead to my Shooting Doji evolve next turn. Okay, he was actually forced to use a Carol, and that Carol was getting Union Bursted reduction. So he might have a second Carol in his hand. Wait, he doesn't have 7 trees yet. Maybe he's just trying to Carol me down. I go down to 5. I need a pressure lethal. How do I clear this? Actually, this is really bad because if he just drops a Carol here, it clears the board. Maybe I should have went for the Friends Forever that turn. Yeah, that was bad. I'm 1 damage off with Miyako. So we're basically hoping he doesn't have a third Carol. Because I think, yeah, I survived the Rileys. I don't think he could get through these double wards. He has to kill He Who Wants Rock too. Actually, He Who Wants Rock, what does it pull out? It has a, it pulls out Skull Lord, which is in ward, unfortunately. It didn't have Storm, I don't think. Doesn't look like he has an Air Carol. Yeah, we could have played our turn 8 a little bit better, I think. I think we would have had to use Friends Forever or something, or shoot it. Friends Forever plus Sarcophagus raise, and we would have been in a much more comfortable position. But in the end of the day, he had to have Triple Carol, which he does have. But yeah, it wasn't Union Bursted. Lucky enough. Holy. It was really close.